Greetings, Fleshy Mammals, and welcome to another Naruto The Boruto Shinobi Striker build video. Today we're actually going to be putting together a themed build. Today that theme is Sasuke The Last, and honestly this build is a ton of fun to use and is actually very strong. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's go.
I'll erase you here.
Alright, so starting things off with the weapon, I actually decided to go with the Sasuke's Ninja Blade. Now, basically, this is the exact same thing as the Kusanagi sword, except it looks different. The reason why that I went with the Sasuke's Ninja Blade is because, one, it fit the theme of the build, and secondly, it has nice combos. I really love the combos on the Kusanagi sword, and Sasuke's Ninja Blade is no different. It has the exact same combos, and the reach is just so good. It has the most range out of all of the range type weapons, which is very good for combos and acquiring hits a little bit easier. You know, you don't have to get in too close. The speed is, of course, moderate. The attack power is also moderate, and the hit rate is also moderate, but the range is above average. So generally, this is a very good thing for the range type, because even when you're meleeing people, you still have that reach advantage. Alright, moving on. For the ninja tool, I actually decided to go with the Demon Wind Shuriken. Now, honestly, in my opinion, the Demon Wind Shuriken is one of the best ninja tools in the entire game, if not the best, as far as the range type goes. It has amazing damage, very fast cooldown. The damage is extremely good, especially when you get the 10 plus hits on it. You can literally get a jutsu's worth of damage and more. Plus, if they are near the edge, you can literally get an instant KO pretty damn easily, especially if you say knock them off the edge and then they gotta recover and then you jump over and throw the shuriken down. They are probably gonna get hit by that and they're probably gonna die for it. It's generally one of my most favorite ninja tools in the entire game. I've gotten many kills with this thing. It is just a ton of fun, especially on the Cloud Village and the Sand Village maps. Moving on to the skills, for the top skill, I actually decided to go with First Blood. Now, basically what First Blood does is, well, it basically just charges your ultimates faster. That's pretty much it, and generally this is a very good thing because you want to have your ultimate faster so that way you can get team wipes more often, and that's pretty much it. Generally, if you use First Blood, you will have your ultimate maybe, depending on how good you're doing, one extra time during the match. So if you normally get your ultimate 2 times, then maybe you'll get it 3 times. So generally this is a very good thing in my eyes. However, you can also go with the skill that increases your ninjutsu damage. That is also a very good one to have, but I went with First Blood just because of the ultimate that we are using with this build, and it takes a long time to charge, so I decided to shorten the charge time for this build specifically. For the bottom skill, I actually decided to go with Clear Mind, and basically Clear Mind just shortens your ninjutsu cooldown time. Generally, this is very good for range types because as range types, we tend to spam our jutsus all over the place, all willy-nilly, trying to get as much damage out as possible. And generally, having your ninjutsus cool down faster is just a very good thing because we're trying to deal damage. The faster we get our jutsus, the more damage we're able to deal. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say here. Clear Mind is just a no-brainer. However, you can also go with the skill that decreases ninjutsu damage taken, so that way you take less damage. So yeah, moving on to the accessory skill. So for the accessory skill, it really just depends on your playstyle and what you want to do as a player. You can really have whatever accessory skill you want here, but I decided to go with Back from the Brink, and basically what that does is, well, it shortens my respawn time. And I like having this because if I do end up dying, I can just get back into the battle slightly faster than what I normally would have had. There's a bunch of different accessory skills, but this is the one that I do recommend using. So yeah, moving on to the ninjutsu. For the first ninjutsu, I actually decided to go with Onyx Chidori. Now, you can actually go with either of the 2 Chidoris that are in the game. So there is Onyx Chidori and there's Normal Chidori. Normal Chidori has a faster cooldown, but it does not have the status element that Onyx Chidori has, which Onyx Chidori, if you hit your opponent with it, it actually lowers the attack speed of your opponent. So you get a little bit of a advantage after you use it. You know, whenever you land Chidori and then you try to combo after it and then you just end up hitting each other, basically Onyx Chidori just stops that from happening because their attacks become too slow to really counterattack when you combo after it. So that's why I do recommend Onyx Chidori, because it is better for combos than normal Chidori. However, if you do want a faster cooldown, I do recommend using Chidori because it does have a 12-second cooldown. However, this is up to preference and how often you actually go in for combos. But I do recommend Onyx Chidori just because it's much better for combos than normal Chidori, and it's only 3 seconds more than normal Chidori. So yeah, moving on. For the second ninjutsu, I actually decided to go with Inferno style Flame Lightning. Now basically this is an 18-second cooldown jutsu, but it is actually extremely good, especially on CACs. So basically what this jutsu does is basically it uses universal pull to pull the opponent in, and then it hits them with flame control spikes that protrude outwards. Basically, these flame control spikes give the enemy burn damage on top of a big burst of damage on the initial hit. Also, because this jutsu uses universal pull, it can actually break through Sand Shield as well. So if there is a pesky defense type sitting on top of, say, B point on the Sand Village map, you can just pull them off, or any map. It really doesn't matter what map, honestly. I don't know why I said Sand Village. But basically, you can just keep pulling the enemy off using this jutsu and damaging them at the exact same time. I love it. Also, this is actually very, very good to use near the middle area of pits, where you can actually pull someone in, hit them with it, and then throw the Demon Wind Shuriken at them, and boom, that's an instant kill. You can actually see in the background gameplay that I'm actually doing this quite a bit, getting a ton of really easy kills. It's generally a very good combo doing that and then throwing the Demon Wind Shuriken, because you can get a ton of damage on it. So generally, I just really like this one. It's also very good in combos, in my opinion. So if you're just like, if you're doing a combo and then you just like knock them towards the guy, you can actually pull them back up with this jutsu and continue dealing damage and then burn damage them. Oh my god, okay. The possibilities are actually endless for this one. It's just a very good jutsu in my opinion. So yeah, moving on to the Substitution Jutsu. For the Substitution Jutsu, I actually decided to go with the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Now, basically my reasoning for this is, well, it's a 25-second cooldown substitution. It's better than the 20-second subs, but it's actually slightly worse than the 30-second subs. Generally, you can just go with whichever one fits the build better. You can go with the log substitution, or you can go with the shadow clone. We see Sasuke use both, so you can really go with either of those. I'm not too sure if you can use the lightning clone, but if you can use that as well. That also fits. But basically, I go with the shadow clone because, one, when you sub, your opponent's no longer locked onto you, and two, it's got a 25-second cooldown, so you get a faster escape. So generally, I just really like this one. You can go with the log sub, like I said, if you really want the 20-second cooldown, but I decided to go with the Shadow Clone Jutsu just to be safe when I'm subbing. So yeah, moving on to the Ultimate Jutsu. For the Ultimate Jutsu, I actually decided to go with, and please forgive me if I say this wrong, Takemikazuchi-No-Kami. I hope I said that correctly. I hope I didn't offend anybody, but basically, this jutsu, this ultimate jutsu, is a beast. First of all, you're summoning a perfect Susanoo. 2, you're using fucking Chidori with the Susanoo. And 3, it kills a lot of people. Okay, you can get a ton of kills just using this jutsu one time. Alright, it is, without a doubt, the best Susanoo ultimate in the entire game. Alright? This jutsu is so cool, so badass, and it fits the build. We all know that the last Sasuke can use this, okay? We know it, alright? That's why it's in the build. But like, this jutsu is so damn good. The only downside to this jutsu is that it has a really long charge time, which is why I actually have First Blood on as the skill. The charge time is extremely long. Normally, you'd only really get this on average one time a match. And that's not even like in the middle of the match. No, that's like nearing the end. With First Blood, I was actually able to do well and get this jutsu 2 times in one match. So generally, that is a little bit better. But this jutsu, even with the long charge time, is extremely good and does a ton of damage and kills a lot of people. Alright, if you use it at the right time, okay? I need to clarify that, okay? If you don't use it at the right time, you're probably not going to hit anybody. I have experienced this jutsu destroying an entire team, no issues. Takemikazuchi-No-Kami is amazing, and I highly recommend it for any range type player who has bought Adult Sasuke as a DLC character. Alright guys, that is it for this build. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a ton of fun with this one as I have. This build has been a ton of fun to put together and a ton of fun to play with, so I hope you guys enjoyed as well. Peace out, it's been Casual.